Hi everyone, it's Chelle from Chelle Crochet. Welcome to my mid-March update. Let's talk whips and acquisitions. Hi everyone, it's Chelle. Welcome to Chelle Crochet. Mid-month, March, third kick at the can of trying 2 podcasts a month instead of 1. I hope everyone's doing well, and let's get into some acquisitions. I kind of teased you in my February podcast and told you that I had a mystery box of Mary Maxim yarn, and I didn't show it, so I'm showing it now. For those of you who don't know, in Canada, the mystery box, the regular size 4 box, is $39.99. I think it's much cheaper than that in the US, and we pay shipping on top. There's generally not free shipping, and the shipping for my order was about $16. First, let's get to what came with, which is 2 crochet patterns and 2 knit patterns. The crochet patterns were a set of dishcloths and this Easy Crochet Shrug, which I'm very interested in checking out. And then the knit patterns, which when I first saw them I thought were crochet, so I'm a little sad, are a keyhole scarf, which is very ribbed style, but it secures it. Yeah, that's the right way. And a beautiful shawl. Just beautiful. Totally wish that was a crochet pattern. Beautiful. And let's get into the yarn. First, I'll talk about the things I ordered that had nothing to do with the kit. So the only extra things I got were 2 extra skeins of this Starlit Sparkle. So this is part of the yarn that I already have on hand for my Christmas blanket that I did not do last year. And I'm keeping it right in front of me there. One of these days I gotta turn the camera around so you can see what I'm looking at. So it does not leave my mind. Because between the fact that I have a Halloween blanket to make in the summer and a Christmas blanket to make probably by Halloween, just so it's done, it's important that the yarn stares at me all the time when I'm in this room. And the other 2 things I got that are not in the mystery box were, just to try and say I've touched, Premier Basics. So they had marked these down to $4.47, which for in Canada is actually pretty good, believe it or not. These are they're actually calling it a full 200 grams, 7 ounces, and 100% acrylic, as you know, number 4 worsted, and I got the colorway burgundy, I'm pretty sure. I can't look because I don't have my glasses, but you get the point. It's a lot darker than the red I just showed you. And I got 2 just to say I've touched it, and it is very, very, very similar, if not identical, to Bernat Premium, which we have here in Canada. I mean, the yarns change, right? Like I have a whole bunch of premium and not all of it's the same. Until I crochet with this, I won't really have a full opinion. It's just a little bit more plump. I don't even know, because premium's nice and thick too. It might end up working up a little more dense than the premium. It's interesting because of I just got the Saver 100s last year for the same reason, just to compare them to premium. You know, they're all nice yarns. So the good news is that we're getting nicer yarns. Everybody's getting nicer yarns, right? And the mystery bag itself. Woo! Look at that. So the interesting thing about this is that there's a whole bunch of yarn in here with the same branded name on it that I'd never even heard of before. So let's go through it. Also, hi Jennifer. Shout out to Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches. I recently saw her do her unboxing, and it's gonna be a good couple of weeks ago now for you guys, but her box was completely different than mine. Let's start with the cotton. Never heard of this before. This is called Rich E, like it has R-I-C-H-E, cotton. And then below it just says Cotton Rich, and it's a 400 gram skein, 70% cotton, 30% polyester, and it's in a nice pale denim-y color. And I do love my cotton, so there's nothing wrong with having a solid. That is a pretty substantial amount of polyester, so I find that interesting. And I've never ever heard of this brand. Anybody heard of that before? Anybody used it, worked it up? I'd love to know how it works up, so please let me know in the comment section below. Then, these I've heard of. Patton's Shetland Chunky in the colorway True Peacock. Pretty true peacock, right? Beautiful turquoise color. And then another one I've heard of. The funny thing about this yarn is I've never had one with a label before, but I've had it a couple of times. If I stare hard enough over there, I can find it in a lilac-y color, but I've never actually had one of these with a label on it before. So Red Heart Dreamy Stripes in this case, 100% acrylic, 180 gram skein. It's considered a 5. Okay. And they're recommending 6.5 machine wash and dry. And I am going to tell you that it is called Sunset. Oh yeah. I'll buy that as a sunset. They didn't really have to put that gray in there, but it's a silvery gray, but it's still really pretty. I guess the only downside I can see to this is that I need to use it on its own. But yeah, we'll see. For this one, what I'd love to know from people who've used it before is how does it launder? Because of all that halo on an acrylic yarn, please let me know. Then 2 each of this, and this is one of my reasons that I waited as long as I did to order a mystery box from Mary Maximus. I knew there'd be some wool in there. Not a fan of wool. But this is called Red Heart Italian Story. An Italian Story. And again, the info. So these are roving yarns, and they're super thick. These are size 6. The one on my hand is called Lampone or Lampone, I guess if we're going for Italian there, because we have Italian, French, and something else. So this is raspberry basically, although they don't write that in English on here. I recognize the word in French, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it. And so size 6, and what is the wattage? Made in Italy, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 52 yards, 48 meters. I have 2 of the pink and 2 of the black. And let's see what's black. Nero, Noir. That one I'm not afraid to say. So these will be hats, and they will be warm hats for whoever wants them. I don't know, like with the amount it is at a size 6, I'm not even sure, because there's 2 pink and 2 black. I'm not sure if it'll be 2 hats or not, but it'll probably be more than enough for one. So this one is a Red Heart Comfort Flex, and the color is a Latte Fleck. And yeah, I can see why. 340 grams. I'm pretty sure the solids are 454. But yeah, I like this one a lot. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings if I was to find more of this on sale and be able to put it into a bigger project. So it was neat to have that in there as something I recognize. And on to the stuff I don't recognize. So I was impressed with the quantities of this yarn, and some of it has better sort of color palette than others, but so there's 6 of these total, 2 of each color, and this is Nako Vizon or Vizon, I don't know, V-I-Z-O-N, and Nako is a name brand I've never heard of before, other than there is one baby version of this on Mary Maximus' actual website. So these are the colorways. So a lilac, a kind of denim-y muted purple, and then the bright golden yellow. So, you know, these go together great, not so much with the yellow. 100% premium acrylic, spelled A-K-R-I-L-I-K, and then written correctly below. And then there's a line on here, in accordance with British standards, but I'm pretty sure I also saw it's made in Turkey. Yeah, made in Turkey. It's very interesting. It's soft, but there's like a bit of a plasticky feel to it. But you know how like the rough acrylic, it feels just kind of rough? This actually feels squishy still. So it's squishy, but it's still plasticky feelings. Okay, one last thing to show you. Another Nako yarn. I'll show it to you in this color. So I got this color. And this color is popping up a little brighter than it is. There's better. and then this color, which I'm going to hold back here now so it doesn't blow out. So these go together for me. Even though the green's so different, they go together. That's a shawl. So now let's talk about it. And whoa, we are looking at 100 grams, 230 meters. They don't actually include the size on here. And what do we got? 100% premium micro acrylic, again spelled A-K-R-I-L-I-K, with microfiber written below rather than the word acrylic like on the other one I showed you. Again, with the in accordance with British standards on here. And I don't actually see the words made in Turkey on this one, but the rest of the label is the same. So that's very interesting. 100 grams, 230 meters. And it's just interesting feeling. It's very, I don't know, it screams, it's so soft, but it screams shawl. But if I find that green one again, because I had already kind of had a snag on the zipper in the bag itself. Look away, Crystal. It's definitely that kind of yarn that has 4 strands or more maybe. All those, look at all those. I hope you can see. Oh my goodness. So again, no idea because I haven't had time to work with it yet, right? But we'll see, we'll see. So interesting. So $39.99, and I'd have to do a little back math to work in the shipping and then the discount and all of that. But you know, it's really, really fun to get a mystery bag, but it's not fun when the majority of the yarn, so 12 skeins of what was given to me, were the same brand and 2 different kinds of yarn. So, and I've never really seen someone open it that had that much of the similar yarns in it. So they weren't stingy at all, but it's a little disappointing. A few people on one of the Canadian crocheting Facebook groups were saying that their Mary Maxim order was taking a long time to go through. Mine didn't. It went through in about 10 days overall from order to receiving it in the mail. So we'll see, but it's always fun to get yarn, right? Okay, so it's back. So today when I was with my girlfriends, I got a blanket back because she wants it even bigger. More about that in March. Okay, so some whips. I am in the process of making 3 bath mats for my girlfriend, and it is 4 strands of yarn held together. 2 of them are Bernat velvet in the colorway mushroom. One of them is a Bernat handicrafter cotton, and I'll pop the name at the bottom, and the other is a Tencel worsted in a denim blue color. And this is how they're looking. So I was going for 24 by 18, and of course they're stretched, so they're actually bigger than that. But it's 4 strands held together, so the velvet to make it nice and plushy, the cotton to give it a little bit of absorbency, and then the blue was a pop of color. Velvet wouldn't necessarily be my first choice, but it's great for this because of the softness, and also I had it on hand, so that worked out well. Color palette as per her request, and I think it'll look quite nice. But for now, work in progress. I also have completed my second Make 9 project, as I mentioned in my last video, but I didn't have any pictures of the recipient modeling it, so I'll just pop in a picture here. And yeah, so this worked out really well. It is the shoulder shrug, and the tutorial I used was from Krista at The Secret Yarnery. And I did talk about it a little bit last podcast, so this is just to show you the pictures I promised of my girlfriend modeling her shrug. Okay, so there are some more acquisitions for this month. I did make it out to Cambridge Fibres in Cambridge, Ontario, because I had heard about her grab bags. They have these tangled bags of yarn, so pop up a picture here for you. and it is 5 kilograms of yarn, and originally it was 5 kilograms for $25, and she's been doing them 2 for $25, but I still did grab 2 of them, figuring that they would be great for donation blankets for scrap gans, because you know, sometimes you're just short like certain colors that would make some of those scrap gans look really great together. And I chose one bag that was primarily black with some other deeper colors like greens and reds and burgundy. And then I chose a bag that was just full of color because it had a lot of gray in it as well. So I will also include a picture here at the end of a sort of like a shopping bag, a market bag that is already full of all the balls I've made. I'm really glad that I got it. I've been enjoying winding the yarn. I don't mind untangling yarn. I find it soothing. When I do the projects that have multiple strands of yarn held together, my hands do really get quite sore. So doing the yarn in between that is like kind of a nice break, and I still feel like I'm being productive. But I'll have to really think about whether or not it's the type of purchase I'd make again. However, I did get some other really nice things, and I'll pop up a picture of the cotton I got. There's one right here that I can grab easily. And I just thought it was kind of cool because this is definitely a really old version of the labels that there used to be on the Handicrafter cottons. And I really do like that label. And how they're doing the cottons that are not complete skeins, because on the label it'll say it's 340 grams. Well, this one was only 278. So they're just picking a price and then doing it by weight. So it kind of makes it easy to know what you're going to get, right? Because that way it's the same price all the time. I just really like that colorway. Pretty sure this is going to be another one of the market bags. And I also grabbed a couple of skeins of blanket yarn on clearance there. So it was nice to chat with her and meet her in person. And she let me vent a little bit about my poor customer service experience at Lance Mills. And then flash forward to about another week or 10 days after our stay-at-home order lifted. And we're still in lockdown, but it allows our stores to open at low capacity. So the first day that Michael's was open, I did pop into 2 of my local Michael's, and I did see some of the Cairn cakes that were on clearance a while back. Everyone was talking about them, probably almost 2 months ago now, maybe 6 weeks ago. The majority of the Cairn cakes that were on clearance at my stores anyway were all the wool blends. So the lovely layers, most of those came with some wool content in them, and that's not the type of yarn I'm interested in, so I skipped it. But once we reopened, the stores inside did have them, so I did get some, and I'll show you some of them. So I'm just going to show you one of each of the colors I got. Some of them I got multiples, some of them I didn't. If I did get multiples, it was with the idea of doing some blankets, and I'll talk about that later. And then one other special project I have in mind. So for the latte cake, it's this one here. And let me tell you a little bit about it. So it's called Lovely Layers, and that's the part of the line that was on sale. So 250 grams, 8.8 ounces, 58% acrylic, 42% nylon. Machine wash and dry. Colorway is Pepper Ash, considered a 5 bulky. And when I got to the cash, I had told the lady to make sure everything was clearance, and this one was coming up full price. And she said, oh, sorry, that one's not. I said, okay, there is a whole bunch of these in the end cap with all the other cakes that are on clearance. And then I noticed that on the side it said Lovely Layers. And so then she did honor it. So I got a couple of those, and I had a similar colorway here already. So I thought that would just give me enough, it's actually right here, to make a bigger project. This one is called, oh, Pepper Ash, good. So it's the same one. So now I have 3 of those, I think, so I can make something a little bit bigger. I got this marble cake just because the marble cakes are so soft. I haven't worked with them yet, but I got, I think 3 in this colorway, which is just French vanilla. And I have a gift in mind for this. It's really pretty. So grays and very light vanilla-y colors. And then I already had 2 of these, thanks to my good friend Crystal. So I now have 5 of them, and I will be making myself something with this. I'm thinking about a poncho, but we'll see how the spirit moves me once I get to having the time to do it. And this colorway is called Rosewater Plum. So for the marble cakes, we are looking at 240 grams, 8.5 ounces, 440 yards, 369 meters, 100% acrylic, machine wash and dry, size 4 medium. So, and the sweater on here looks really cute actually. So I do have enough of those for a larger project now. And onto my skinny cakes, which leads me to another couple of little whips. One of them is going to be featured at the end of the month because it is part of a Make 9, so I'll put that one away for now. But, so I just got one in this colorway of the skinny cakes. I'll give the specs in a second. This one's called Turkish Delight. And what I did was, I'm going to use this whole cake to practice shawls. But instead of making a full shawl, I just made it bandana size. So this one, guesses, hasn't been blocked yet. Give a girl a bit of a break. This is the Virus Meets Granny. So I had made a virus shawl in 2019, and I've never gone back to the pattern. I wasn't a huge fan. I wish I was. So I thought I'd try this one. I was feeling the same way. I don't know what it is, but for me, it feels like there's too many stitches in these gaps. So I just don't love doing it, and I want to really enjoy the crochet when I'm doing it. So I'm just going to put this on for you for a quick sec. So there it is as a little headscarf for a bandana. Adorable, nice lightweight yarn. And I think it'll be neat to have some of these around for spring, summer time. Okay, so back to my skinny cakes. So I had only one in the Turkish Delight, and there'll be more to hear about this in my end of the month wrap up video. And then I got a few in some of the other colors. I was inspired by Rose. Rose Likes Crochet. A while back she was making all these modern granny blankets, and a couple of them she mentioned she held double. And I have some, in particular that Endless Impeccable in the soft taupe. I have so many huge balls of that I thought might look good with at least one or two of these. But then I'd get a natural striping effect without it being too predominant. And lets me use a thinner yarn with 4 yarn and work it out to be about a bulky weight yarn. So I thought that'd be kind of cool for some blankets. So these were $4.99, by the way. All of the cakes that I bought at Michael's were $4.99. And regular price $11.99. Okay, so this one is Frosted Blue, and I'll just give the specs once. So all the skinny cakes are 250 grams, 8.8 ounces, 100% acrylic, machine wash and dry, and it is a number 3, which is 795 yards and 727 meters. And again, this one is in Frosted Blue. So you can see that it's at least 3 different colors of blue, maybe to a bit of a gray, and then there's this nice little hint of a dusty rose in there. And then I have Rosewater, and this one is obviously a lot more not quite burgundy, but like a brighter burgundy with a dusty plummy burgundy in it, and then just some really nice muted tones of grays to burgundy to blue family. Maybe not gray, but it's just a really pretty cake. And then I have this one, which is called Frosted Mint. And sure, the lightest color in there is mint green, but the rest are very tealy. And there's some peach and some actual silvery gray in there. Really like that one a lot. This one is called Sugar, and it is purple with white and a very soft turquoise, and a lighter purple, and back to the purple and back to the white. Very pretty. So in working up the headscarf so far, the couple of them, skinny cakes remind me exactly of fuzzy acrylics. So they're soft when you touch them, they're beautiful in the cake, but they're very fuzzy. And I think when it comes to just cakes in general, because there are a few cakes that really stand out in their texture and their quality of acrylic that I like, when the other ones aren't as nice as that, it kind of disappoints me a little. However, you always can come back to the fact that they're cakes. They change color for you. There's always a reason to have that work well with your creative process. And I don't know, for that price, you really can't go wrong, right? I went to 2 stores to sort of support the 2 most local Michaels to me that were reopening for the first time since November. And also just to see the difference in what they might have on clearance. It was pretty much the same. Mostly it was just these and then a whole bunch of that fuzzy yarn. I know Rosie was looking at it in her shopping spree recently. Just stuff that I'm not interested in. For the most part, both of the stores, their actual shelves of yarn were very, very understocked. They were not out of yarn by any stretch, but there was definitely complete areas that had no yarn at all. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks, if I get a chance to go back or not. I like to take big breaks in when I shop for yarn and when I don't, so I'm ready for another break. But I'm also interested to see how the stores are doing in terms of the stock, because the stock in general, Walmart online is next to nothing available. I haven't been inside a Walmart since last year, so I'm not sure how the shelves are doing that way. And Michael's regular, just what they would normally have, it's not the same. Now, the one that Rosie was showing us on her tour seemed like it had a fair amount of yarn, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes with stock. I really enjoy getting yarn when it's on clearance like that. Those prices were unbeatable, but I have enough right now, and I'll take a little break, and maybe I'll be able to tell you in April that there were no acquisitions. We'll see how it goes. I think we'll wrap it up there for mid-March check-in. There are a couple other things I have to show you that will come at the end of March. I also feel like I have a bit of free time coming up in terms of me being able to decide what it is I want to do next. I'm looking forward to seeing what inspires me in terms of the rest of the month, because after sort of the end of this week, I won't have any sort of things that I have to have done. So it'll give me a good solid 10 days of just crocheting what I want to do. Maybe a new summer top. That would be nice if I could get that going. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I wanted to say I hope you're all having a great day. Happy crochet, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.